What's going on, everybody? The Bitter Q-Tip here, and today I'm going to be doing a limited spoiler walkthrough of how I did the Sun achievement for Back to the Dawn. If this is your first playthrough of the game, I highly recommend doing one of the other escape attempts first before going for this achievement, just to learn the game a little bit and to build some skills you may need for your future runs of the game. I am going to try my best to keep this as short of a video as possible without missing too many details. There will be a little bit of jumping around in the beginning of the video just to show the things you may need that will make this a lot easier over time of completing this achievement. If you haven't played the game yet, I highly recommend getting it for yourselves. Plus, the Steam community is awesome when it comes to helping out new players. With that all being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video and let's get right into it. So one of the easiest items that we can obtain here is going to be the two pieces of cloth that we're going to need later on in the day. That can be easily obtained by going to the infirmary. All you have to do is sign up for the laundry room like normal, and when Beth leaves the room to go get the shot, just get up and go to the cabinet to your left, search it. You should find both a pair of gloves and two pieces of cloth. One of the next items that we will need, we can obtain from Max, which is going to be the hammer. Um, as well as you can grab the running shoes from him as well because of the agility stat. He also has the lowest agility stat of inmates who have the running shoes, which will make him an easier target to gain those from if you need those here for this playthrough. And another item that we're going to need is going to be the wrench from Frank. It's going to be a little difficult to get this if you try to get it first thing in the morning because we don't have everything that we may need. This is something that having the running shoes from Max may help out with. Now that we know the items that we're going to need to get this started, we're going to go ahead and talk about the setup. We're going to need to do the first part of the main mission to get this started. So we're going to need to speak to Caesar the Chimp in the left wing of the prison to get his mission started, which is just going to be going and talking to Eddie and Kevin to make sure that they pay back the money that they owe. Once you complete talking to them and convince them to give that money back, go back over to Caesar to turn that mission in, and then you're going to go to the payphone and go ahead and call Reed. You can also at this time get the quest from Alex the Lion on the first floor in the same wing as Caesar. That mission can only be taken care of at night, mainly because of this will give us a little bit of extra funds for if we had a run in with Crunchy during yard time, if this is your first time playing through the game, or if you haven't already dealt with him. After speaking to Reed, we're going to go ahead and go speak to Bruce and ask him about our visitation. This is going to prompt Bruce to let us know that we need to get Caesar's ledger out of his cell. You can do this two ways. You can either let Caesar know about Bruce's plan, or you can wait until the afternoon and get the ledger out of Caesar's locker. I chose to wait and get the ledger out of his locker and help myself to an extra $100 out of his locker for no, just for my troubles. After we get done with lunch and we go out into the yard, you're going to go to the building in the top right corner and you're going to go and knock on the blue door. This is going to be where the barber is. He's going to have a few quests here for us so that way we can earn a little bit more cash while trying to get everything situated. We're going to need that money for a few more items that we're going to need here at night. So I highly recommend completing those missions. And also, if you have the chance, go and read a book in the general building called DIY Maestro. You'll thank me later. Once you get back and you've done the ledger mission as well as Alex's quest, you're going to go to Billy and you're going to go ahead and purchase two blankets and two pillows. One is going to be for making the bed dummy, the other is going to be for making your bed. Once you get them, go back to your cell and go ahead and use the bathroom. This is going to prompt Thomas to let him know that he can disassemble the toilet. It's also going to give you the recipe for crafting the bed dummy. Your Thomas is going to go through a plan to on how you can disassemble everything, but you can't disassemble anything until it is lockdown time. Once it hits lockdown, we are free to do whatever we need as long as our roommate is asleep. So once lockdown comes, you're gonna go ahead and start disassembling the toilet with either the coin or the wrench if you have it. If you don't have the wrench, this will take a little bit of time. But if you do have it, it's not gonna take you that much effort at all. But once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and leave off of the toilet and place your bed dummy on the bed. Then you're gonna go back to it and move the toilet and go out into the pipe area. In the piping area, you're gonna go over to the right and you're gonna see a sewer drain. You're gonna go ahead and attempt to open it. If you have a clubbed weapon like the hammer or a piece of wood or a metal pipe, it will make getting that lid off that much easier. However, if your strength is low, it may take you a little effort and a couple of tries to get this off. Once you're in the sewer, you're going to go ahead and go down the ladder and to the right. You're going to go through that door known as the electrical room. In there, you're going to have to solve a puzzle to get the lights turned back on. If you have DIY Maestro from reading the book earlier, then this right here is going to be a very simple and quick thing for you. You will need to move a few of them in order to activate the DIY Maestro. But once you have everything kind of started and moved, you should be prompt once you make it to the other side of the room to use DIY Maestro to finish out the puzzle. You will need to activate the generator yourself, however, when doing so. And once you're done, you're just going to leave on out and head to the right. Over there, you're going to click on the drainage pipe that's sticking out a little bit, which is going to let Thomas know that he can place something there. Once you do that and Thomas is done talking, you're going to go as far to the left as you possibly can. There, you're going to run into a control panel and you're going to try to use that active control panel. However, the control panel is not going to have any power, which is going to prompt for you to complete another puzzle. The puzzle itself isn't very lengthy, but it can be challenging if you don't pay attention to it. Once you completed that puzzle and you make it to the other side, you're going to then go ahead and start disassembling the wooden planks of the door, and that should help you craft the bridge once you get all the planks off. If you have a hammer, it should prompt you once you click on them again to make that bridge, and Thomas is going to automatically place it on that far right hand side. Once we have that bridge placed, we are then going to be able to get across to the other side. Once we are across, we're going to go all the way up and to the left. It's going to bring us to a section to where the walkway is missing in a section. It is going to prompt Thomas to say something about it and question about if there's a way to get around there. Once Thomas is done speaking, we're going to go up that corridor right next to that broken walkway. This is going to be what's going to get us to the staff room. And this is going to be blocked off by a shelf. That shelf is going to be able to be moved once we have access to the staff block. Go ahead and doing this is going to allow for us to move that shelf right as soon as we start working over there. Once we're prompted to leave back down into the sewer, we are officially done with night one of the setup. So at this time, you can either continue to explore or you can go back to your cell. After Reed's visit, you are going to need to go and see Billy about Reed's letter. Once you get the letter, go back to your cell and go ahead and read it. You are going to need to have some matches on hand to go ahead and decipher the what's on the back of the letter. Once you do that and have access to the map, you will now have access to getting to the mailroom. After this, you are going to need to speak to Billy, which he's going to prompt that he can give you a pass for the mailroom, but you're going to have to pay him. Or you can go and speak to Bruce and spend 50 good credit points. I chose to go ahead and go with Billy and spend the money. You can also haggle for a lower price. You're also going to have to do the hold mail mission by getting access to the storage room in your wallet and calling Reed after you get the card out of your wallet from the storage room. This is going to be necessary for completing the achievement as well. Once you're in the mailroom, you are going to need to do a little bit of work. You are going to have to sort through some of the mail and packages for a little bit until you get up to 35 rapport with Owen, the guard that's here in the mailroom. Once you get up to there, you can go over to the big sliding door on your left between the guard room and that big shelf, which is where you can also find a hammer. You're going to go and click on that door. It's going to prompt Owen to say something to you. And when you go and speak to him, you should be able to get the secondary job for the mailroom, which is to sort the mail. Also, after going through your first run of the sorter, you can go and speak to Owen after going to the door then as well. It will prompt for him to give you another task, which is killing roaches in between the sorting, which all it took for me was to do that twice as well as the sorter twice, and I had access to doing the second quest. Once you have access to the mail sorting itself, it's a pretty easy task to get taken care of and a pretty short one as well. However, once you go ahead and complete it and you're taking the mail to that back room, we're that much closer to getting these steps done. But once you're back there, you have 20 minutes in total to get the job done as well as to be able to check things around that room. So the better you do at the sorting of the mail, the more time you will have in that back area to look around or to find things that may be helpful for the achievement. Once you're done with that sorting, I took a couple hits here because I knew I didn't need that much time. But once you're done with that sorting, you're going to go ahead and go to that filing cabinet on that right hand side of the room. Once you go to it, you should be able to search through the pile of documents. That shouldn't take you long as well. But once you do that, we're going to be looking for one document in particular, which is going to be the work log. Once you're back in the main building in the afternoon, you're going to go ahead and speak to Bruce about the staff block job. That's if you have 50 good conduct points and you are ready to go forward and complete this last part of the setup until we are at day 9. Once you speak to Bruce, he's going to give you a quest that's going to be 3 parts. Two of them can be taken care of here in the afternoon, which is going to be talking to Sam and Tony. The third one is going to be a additional quest that you're going to get from Alex after speaking with him, which is going to take place the next morning. He is going to give you some money Do not spend that money on anything, but give it all to the courier when you speak to them if you want to have both options available for you for completing the achievement. Once you're done speaking to the courier and you return back to the main building, you're going to go ahead and speak to Bruce and let him know that you solved all the problems that he's been having, and he should give you the permit to work in the staff block. You're going to go ahead and head to the staff block immediately, and we are going to get a miniature cutscene of guards talking, as well as fixing the pipe in the back room. Once we're done and we are officially in the work mode of that staff block, we're going to go ahead and select the mop, and we're going to mop one area of that room. Once we're done mopping that area, we're going to go ahead to that back room and we're going to put the mop in the sink, which is going to give us 15 minutes to start rearranging that room. That shelf is going to have some items on there that are going to need to be removed in order to move that shelf. I recommend moving just 2 sections of those items to make the shelf manageable to move. However, if you need to remove all of them, you can do so. You have the entire morning to get this done. Once night rolls around and we leave our cell again after lockdown, we're going to go ahead and head straight to that staff area. We should be able to go ahead and climb up that grate at this point. Once we're in there, we're going to go ahead and go through that door into the main area. We're going to go to the left and up the stairs. Once we're up the stairs, we're going to go all the way over to that far right wall. You're going to see an open locker. Go ahead and open it, and go ahead and take that drink out there for your troubles. After we get that, we're going to go ahead and go to the lockers on that bottom wall, and we're going to go to the third one. We're going to go ahead and open it and read the stack of papers that are in there. Once you're done reading that stack of papers, we're going to go ahead and go to the window next to the workout equipment, and we're going to go out of that window. Once outside of that window, we are going to go to that pole that is on the right side, and we're going to go down it. Once we're down it, we are going to go over to a grate that is on the ground in that area, and we're going to go through it. The grate is going to lead us back down into the sewer, where we're going to end up on the other side of that broken grate, of that broken walkway. Um, you are going to see another control panel at the very end. After Thomas is done talking, you're going to go ahead and access that control panel. He's going to say a couple of other things, and then it's going to prompt for you to go ahead and touch the control panel. Once you do, it's going to give you another option for opening up that sluice gate. This will drain all of the excess sewage out of that sewer, and this area should be available for you to explore the next day. This is where you're going to find things like the crank and the socket, which is going to come in handy for the next part of the mission. And we'll get to that here in a bit. On another night, we're going to go down into that drainage area for the sewer, and we're going to go up towards where that sluice gate was that we opened up at the very top. You should see that broken section of the walkway. We're going to go up to it and click on it. That's going to allow for us to get the rusty crank. This is going to come in handy, as well as the socket, which if you go back down towards the section of the sewer where we can go up into the pipe area, you're not going to go in the pipe area, but you're going to go to the door of the left of the pipe area. You're either going to break or pick the chain on that door and open it. In there, we're going to find the septic tank area. In the top right corner, we're going to go to that shelf, and we're going to get the socket off of that shelf. At this point, we are done with everything that we need for the setup portion, and we are going to need to get back to this on the 9th day, which is going to be a Tuesday. You can also use this time in between now and the 9th day to start repairing your relationship with Maggie. This will also give you a chance to earn the lover achievement, as well as give you another option to use for the son achievement. So you can do this by sending her letters after you call her for the first time, and calling her again the day after you send the letter. Here on the 9th day, we're going to go ahead and head up to the barber, and he should have a mission for us labeled as Poopy Pendant. We are going to accept that mission, and we are going to also go into the general building, go all the way up to the art room, go to the cabinet on the left, and we're going to search it. There, we're going to find a pair of scissors that we're also going to use for the night. All right, so now that we're back into the sewer area here on day 9, we're going to go back over to the septic tank area, and we are going to go up to the top right septic tank, and we're going to go ahead and inspect it. It's going to prompt for us to add the socket and the crank to it after he inspects the tank, and then he's going to open the tank with the socket and the crank, and he's going to fish around in there. It's not going to allow for you to finish fishing around before you find something. And here's where I'm going to leave you guys off to finish out the mission yourselves. I've given you everything that you need to do for this. If you have any trouble, you can always go back to the beginning of the video for the setup process and check some parts. Just make sure you check the work areas if you get a little lost on figuring things out, as well as make sure you have the scissors on hand when you're going back down into the sewers this time. Hopefully this was helpful for getting y'all the sun achievement. If it was, like the video and comment the sun down below. If I catch your comment in a timely manner, I'll try my best to respond. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.